Welcome to Martin Survival. In today's video series, I'm going to show you step by step in how to make a traditional Southern California style arrow quiver. So stick with me, we got a great show coming up. All right, folks, so I want to welcome you back. And the first thing we want to do is give proper credit where credit is due. And that's to the native people that once occupied and traveled through this land, as well as hunted some of the mountains around this surrounding area. And that is the Serrano, the Quiver, and the Chemehuevi. I always say none of these skills are new. Everything that I'm showing you today has been tried, it's been tested, and it's been used throughout history. And ethnographically, there's quite a bit of proof. One of the museums that I did some classes with and presented some lectures at took me in one of their storage areas, and in their storage area they had an actual artifact of a Yucca quiver used by the Quiver. And the reason why the Quiver, along with a lot of Southern California native people, use these type of quivers is because, number one, it's easy to use, number two, it's effective, but number three, it's very light. And in the Mojave Desert, where water is an issue, you have to think about weight. And that's something that I always consider, whether I'm hunting, I'm backpacking, I'm scouting, or I'm setting trap lines. Weight is definitely an issue. And I gave a friend a while back a traditional quiver, just like what you're going to see today, and he was amazed by the weight. He compared it to airplane parts. And that's exactly what it is. It's like model airplane parts. They're very, very light, but again, they do the job quite well, and they're fairly easy to make. So this is a Yucca Whipplei stock, and this is well seasoned. So I have about 3 years of seasoning on this stock. So the inside has a punky material, and that's what I'm going to essentially dig out using another tool, which is my juniper stick. So this is a fairly hard, dense piece of wood. I've had this for about a year, and I've made plenty of quivers with this. It's just shrunk down in size, of course, as I go along, but it seems to do quite well. And again, you want a harder material to dig out that pith. And around here, juniper along with creosote is a good choice. And then I have a pencil. And I also have an arrow that I'm going to make measurements with. And we'll get into that in just a second here. I want to show you, though, some of the previous quivers that I've made. This one right here is an agave stock, and I have this plugged off. We won't make this style of quiver today, but I have it plugged off. And this was made about a year and a half ago at winter count. And agave, you can find a lot of it in the Coachella Valley and the Salton Sea, where a lot of the Quivers used to reside at. And this does quite well. Again, I use this for a hand drill quiver. During monsoon rains, when we got a lot of moisture in the air and I want to keep my hand drill kit dry, I just stick it in here, and I usually plug it off with a piece of rawhide and some rope, and that'll keep it dry. This is a little bit too thin and narrow in diameter for arrows. And then this one right here is a Yucca quiver. So again, this is made from Yucca Whipplei, and the string is Yucca as well, and that's what we're going to do today. So basically, I'm going to make the same thing as this with that other Yucca stock. Excuse me. I sinew wrap the top and I sinew wrap the bottom just so it doesn't crack and split. This one is well seasoned, easily over 5 years. So as you can see, I have a few arrows in here. This is a fairly short quiver, so it's for one of my flat bows. This is about I think this is like a 25-inch arrow. The bow that I'm shooting these out of is about 24 inches. But again, it seems to do quite well, and the string has never torn apart, and it's still going, so I still use it. And again, we used all natural materials, and we didn't use anything modern with that quiver.